talk to you guys tonight about is just going after a goal when you're stuck in the same place for a really long time and your goal feels really far away for a really long time. For me, I have been an executive director for 2.5 years, and I'm surrounded by people, it feels like, who have promoted from executive director to managing director much faster than that. And I have been a consultant for 4.5 years. I started when I was a full-time nurse and doing some other things along the side. And this is very much a side thing for me, but I also, in the back of my head, had a goal to do really well at this business, whatever that meant. I had, looked at these higher promotion titles and thought that would be really nice to be at that place, but who knows what this could look like. And so at some point in this business, you are going to be in a place where you feel like you should belong in a different place than what your promotion title is showing you, or what personal sales bonus you keep hitting. And so the biggest thing that you can do for yourself to stay in this business for the long haul, to continue to grow, no matter what the rate is, but just continually moving forward and closer to your goal, is to stay in this and stay connected. There hasn't been 1 month that I have been completely disconnected from Beauty Counter. There's been hard months, life happens, especially when you're doing this for so many years at a time, but I always made sure to at least be completing, a minimum list. So I'm always looking for my new volume. I'm always looking to hit a certain amount of sales, but those are more in the lower months. In any regular month, or in a month that I have more energy, I'm staying within this month cycle, which is so easy to be in Beauty Counter. Everyone starts at 0 on the first day of the month, and then everything is good until the last day of the month. And that's the time frame that you have to hit certain promotions or whatever your certain goal is. But at the same time, this business is really meant to be built on top of each other. Each month is built on top of each other. So really working as if I am going to hit my goal at the end of the month. And so staying in activity, creating a plan, like Lauren said earlier, and really staying ahead of the game, really working. But if by the end of the month, I'm not at the place that I want to be at, I know that I've done a lot of good work with sales, with recruiting, with doing all of these normal activities that we do every day. I know I've set a good framework and a good foundation that I keep building to get to the place that I want to be at. And so I think that as far as your personal business, it's really important to be tracking your numbers daily. I don't sit down each day and handwrite each number, but I will wake up in the morning, pull up my Beauty Counter app or pull up the downline and take a screenshot. And maybe once a week, I'll sit down at a calendar and then write out my new volume, my business volume, and my personal volume. And so those are all things that you can control, basically. And so the goal is to always be reaching for 3,000 PV, 250 new volume, and whatever that business volume is. And then I would just really encourage you guys to stay connected with your mentor. I have been really consistent with Whitney and having a phone call with her for I don't even know how long. It's been years. And so it's that staying connected with my mentor that keeps me grounded in what my goals are. It's so easy to be distracted by everything else that everyone is doing, like so many of us had said on this call. And it's always good to receive different ideas, see what other people are doing, but don't feel paralyzed by you have to do all of these things or you have to do the exact right thing to make that work. Just pick which one feels most authentic to you and then just do that thing. And then stay connected to your mentor and really put those blinders on and think about what is a really great, what would success mean for me? What would make me feel like I would get a huge win, and then just focus on that. And then also thinking about the smaller wins. So like I said, some of promotion titles and some personal sales bonus levels are so far apart from each other. And so you have to think of smaller wins too, that get you on your way to your bigger win. So whether that's that you talk to 5 people about the business opportunity instead of just one, that's a really big win. That's also a smaller win on the way to your bigger goal. So just be writing those down and keep those, in front of you all of the times that you know exactly where to be, where you're going and where you're headed. And then if you have a team, I would highly encourage you to ask your team members what their goals are and help them reach their goals. Because when people are reaching the goals that they have for themselves that seem like a stretch for themselves, they will feel so empowered. They're going to see growth in themselves. They'll be doing the work that makes them feel stretched, and everyone's level of feeling stretched and everyone's fears are so different. But the journey that we're all on, we can really feel a difference when we pick our goals and then we reach them. And so I would just encourage you guys to walk alongside each team member, no matter where they're at, because collectively you're making an impact no matter what they're doing. And then lastly, I would just encourage you guys to also just be focusing on personal development at the same time. I feel like that's been a huge piece in my journey as a consultant, is that I've always been doing some piece of personal development. I'm not reading a book all of the time. I'm not listening to podcasts all of the time, but I'm picking out little bits and pieces of information and seeing what I'm fearful of and where I can grow. And then I'm actually leaning into that and then choosing to work on that thing that I'm fearful of. So it's not only doing that hard thing once, but it's continuing to do that hard thing, because then eventually it's not going to be hard. So just my advice to you is just to not stop or not stay discouraged for a long time. Plug in with your mentor, plug in with your team, voice the fears that you have, voice the discouragement that you have, because by voicing it, you're going to get over it, and then you're going to have the energy to move forward. And really, this business can change into something that you never thought was possible, and you'll be in a place that you never thought was possible. You'll be a person that you know is inside all along, but then the whole world gets to see it then. So